Hello friends, Coach Bob with you today, and today we are going to be talking about the cost of ownership. You know, owning a CanAm Spyder and purchasing it is only a small part of it. You have to figure out what is maintenance going to cost me, what is my insurance going to cost me, those sorts of things. We're going to talk about that. But I want to tell you first about something that happened last week that is super exciting. On the BRP webpage, the People of the Open Road, Coach Vic and I were recognized, and a beautiful little story was written about us. Be sure and check that out. I'm going to put a link right here if I can. If not, I'll drop a link down below. But be sure and check it out. Share it with your friends. Put it on your favorite social media. We really do appreciate it. The growth has been wonderful. Secondly, if you'll notice the Two Wheel Tuesday video that came out yesterday, man, woo, you would have think that I had burned down somebody's house, kicked their dog, spit in their coffee. It was bad. It was real bad. I got a lot of email yesterday, man, of people, hey man, is the channel changing? Are you doing away with the CanAm? You're not passionate about the Spyder anymore. That couldn't be further from the truth. I am still just as passionate about my Spyder as I ever was. I will continue to ride it every day. I love that machine. And the content as it relates to the Spyder is not going to diminish one iota. Two Wheel Tuesday is going to happen not every week, but sometimes. If you're into that sort of thing, check it out. And if you're not, you don't have to watch it. It's okay. My feelings aren't going to be hurt. I've got friends with two wheels who asked me as I developed this little motorcycle if I would share it with them. If you would go along for the ride, hey, I appreciate it. But if not, man, there's no hard feelings on my part. But don't think for one moment that the channel is changing, that all of a sudden things aren't going to be like they were. They're going to continue to be like they are. This is center focus is a CanAm channel around Coach Vic and my life and the relationship that we have grown to have with this crazy cuckoo machine that we lovingly know is our CanAm Spyder. So don't fret, don't sweat, it ain't worth it, it's okay. Also, I've got a lot of emails about maintenance, installation things. Trying my best to get back with you as much as I can on those things, as quickly as I can. I do get a lot of email, man. I'm telling you, I get a lot of email. And so I am checking it and I'm getting back with you as soon as I can. Please don't think that I'm giving you the stiff arm, because I'm certainly not. Another thing I want you to do, and this is something that we've been wanting to do, but life has been so crazy between the upcoming birth of our grandchild and the wedding of our youngest, and all of the crazy things in between, and then not to mention all the COVID stuff, man. Things have gotten kind of crazy. So it is difficult sometimes, that communication thing. If you would do me a favor, starting today, I'm going to take all of the emails that I've received in the past, I'm going to put them in a file, I'm not going to throw them away. But what I'm looking for starting today, if you would, send me pictures of your Spyder, a short blurb you would like said about it and said about you, and I will put them on the channel on Saturday's episodes or on Wednesday's episodes called CB3's Ryder Rides, and I would love to share your Spyder with the world on this channel. Now that we've got all of the house cleaning out of the way, let's talk about what it costs to own a CanAm Spyder. When I say what it costs to own a Spyder, I mean after it's paid for. I'm not counting your payment, because your payment will go away, and some people pay more, some people pay less, some people pay cash. So we're not going to count that part of it as the costs of ownership. That goes with it. Another thing I'm not going to count is the cost of fuel. We know that based on how you ride and where you ride is going to dramatically impact your fuel mileage. I average around 30 miles per gallon. There are those out there who say they do 34. I've had other guys say, I don't know how you're getting 30. So we're not going to talk about the cost of gasoline. So what are we going to talk about? What it has cost me to have the CanAm Spyder for 1 year, because we're coming up in the next couple of weeks on owning the Spyder for a year. So our annual cost now, we have a clear picture of what it is, and this is what it is. Now remember, as you ride anything, the miles that you put in are going to impact how much you spend per year. Also, whether you're going to do your own maintenance or not will also dramatically impact what you spend per year on your motorcycle. So the Can-Am, really, I was surprised that it was this low considering the number of miles that we put on it. So the first thing we want to talk about is routine maintenance. Those oil changes, that break-in service, that sort of thing. Now, my break-in service, which is your initial oil change, and that's where they kind of go over the entire machine. I'm going to give you a breakdown of parts, labor, and total. So I've got my iPad here. I've got everything all cross-referenced. So, cost of ownership. My first routine maintenance, which was like I said, my initial break-in, parts was $101.99. That was the oil change kit. Labor was 2 hours of labor at $180 total. That's $90 an hour. And with tax, that put me out the door at $303.14. Now, there may be some that cringe and go, man, that's a lot. I'm going to tell you, in my experience with everything that I've owned, $300 is about what you're going to expect with any motorcycle type of vehicle, whether it's a Harley Davidson, a Triumph, a Suzuki, or a Can-Am Spyder. That really is not a bad price. My second oil change, now understand, you may not have to do a second oil change or replace a tire your first year of ownership. Understand that Coach Vic and I have logged a lot of miles, so we're well in excess of 12,000 miles at this point. So we have replaced a back tire and we have had our second oil change done. So our cost this year may be a little higher than it will be next year. Our second oil change, again, the oil kit was the same price, $101.99, with 1 hour of labor this time. That 1 hour was $90, obviously. With tax, that is a total of $211.77. Really very reasonable in my opinion. Now, if you're willing to do these services on your own, which I will probably start doing them next year, that $90 you can put in your pocket. You can also possibly, through another company, like say for example Lamonster, I will put a link to his oil change kit right up over here. I don't know what it costs, but I will put the price right here. And that's what his oil change kit costs versus the BRP one, which is $101.99. So with the break-in service and with the second service, now I've got a total of $514.91. Now that second service did reveal something. It revealed a tire that was in desperate need of replacement. That tire, I had a lot of people when I showed the picture of the tire online, they were saying, man, you must have had that thing overinflated. The center of it wore out. What I have come to find out is that the Kenda tire, the stock tire on the Spyder, historically, as you are traveling at highway speeds, the centrifugal force is lifting the center of that tire out, and it wears the center of the tire out first. I've talked to 3 other Can-Am Spyder owners. They've experienced the exact same thing because I was really questioning maybe I had not been as diligent on the checking of my tire pressure. They assured me that theirs did exactly the same thing. If you have a different experience of that with that, please post down below. Let the other users know because it is important. Now, because time was of the essence for us to get our tire, the dealership, the local dealership, had the stock tire, the original tire that came on the Spyder, had that tire available, did not have the Kenda K9, did not have that available with a quick turnaround. So we bought the original Kenda tire, even knowing we may not get the mileage out of it that we want to get out of it. We ended up having to replace the first one at around 11,000 miles, a little over 11,000, but roughly in that general vicinity. We rode on some extremely hot pavement and some extremely coarse pavement, which wore that back tire out. The front tire still looked really, really good, so we're okay there. The back tire was $157.49. The labor to do that was $90 for a total of $266.05 to replace that one tire. Judging from what I experienced while working on my Triumph here recently, that really is not a bad price. There again, it's not what you would pay for your Toyota or your Camry, okay? But it is in line with what the motorcycle world costs. And understand, this is not an American product, so you're going to have to pay a little more money for those things to be sent to you. So now, with oil change and service number 1, oil change and service number 2, replacement of a tire and labor, we are at a grand total of $780.96. Which brings us to the dreaded insurance. Yeah, really not a big deal. I don't know state to state where you are or your driving record. But for me, as a 58, soon to be 59-year-old man, my insurance on the Spyder is $30.05 a month, bringing our total for the Spyder a year at $360.60. Not too shabby. Our tag per year, $24.14. So for my insurance and my tag, that is a total of $384.74 a year. So if I add all of my services together with the cost of my insurance and my tag, it brings us to a grand total of $1,165.70 per year, or $97.14 a month. That's what it costs to have a Spyder in your garage. Not bad. Not bad at all. And I've done breakdowns on other vehicles because this is how I look at a vehicle. Can I afford to own it? Because cost of ownership is way more than the cost of the vehicle. You need to think about those things when you're buying something, because it really is an expense that we don't think a whole lot about, but it's there. It is really there, and it is very important that you do take that into consideration. But if you're not doing a lot of miles and you're not going to destroy your tire, and you don't have to do but one service that year, you can cut that price by $211 for a service and $266 for a tire, for a total of $477 less per year if you're not putting on big miles. And that changes your cost of ownership dramatically. In fact, your annual total without those additional two things is $688 for a year, which is $57.33 a month. There is not another vehicle in the motorcycle world that I have ever run a cost analysis on that was any cheaper than that. Certainly not a touring motorcycle, something big, something that you can log thousands of miles and a continent crosser. So the Spyder is actually a very, very good deal, and it's reasonable to run. Another email that I had gotten was from an individual who was having some service issues with the Spyder. Now, I have not had any service issues with it, so I can't really attest to those, how much they would cost. I do know people have damaged belts, had to have those belts replaced. I know people who have hit things and damaged rims, damaged suspension parts. Those things can be expensive to replace. You do have to think about those things, but those things can happen with any machine. If you hit stuff, rocks get slung up in there, it's just part of the deal. Just understand that. But dependability for us and our CanAm Spyder, it has been 100% dependability. Not one time, and please, knock on wood, not one time have I ever gone out there and turned that key and it not crank, or me be on a road somewhere and it leave me stranded. It has been the pinnacle of dependability, and I love it. So again, don't stress out about the CanAm material. This is still your place for CanAm stuff. If you would, though, do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe to this channel and share it on your social media. Man, we sure would appreciate it. And go to the BRP webpage and check out the article. It is very, very nice, and we are very, very appreciative, because that would have never happened for us without you. You're the ones who made it happen. You really are. Also, please, please, please send those pictures of your CanAm Spyders, or anything that you own for that matter. It could be scooters, CanAm Spyders, motorcycles. whatever you ride, if you put your face in the wind, I'll share it with the subscribers, and we're glad to have you on this channel and in the wind with us. So until next time, I want you to do me a favor. Go out, buy the motorcycle of your dreams, eat right, take care of yourself, and remember, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. Now you go seize the day, and we'll see you real soon.